With great sadness that I just report to you that Marcus Lamb, my dear friend, who is the president and founder of the Daystar Television Network, has passed away.
In a shocking twist, Jimmy Evans has broken his silence on the ongoing scandal surrounding Joni Lamb and the DIR Television Network. As the controversy deepens, former Vice President Jonathan Lamb and his wife Suzy have publicly accused Joni and her supporters of spiritual abuse, igniting a fierce battle that has captured the attention of many. In this video, we dive into Evans' unexpected statements, exploring the implications for DIR's future and the shocking revelations that could change everything. Stay tuned as we unravel the details and uncover how this drama is unfolding. The unfolding drama at Daystar Television Network. Daystar Television Network has long been a pillar of faith-based broadcasting, reaching millions of viewers worldwide with its Christian programming. However, recent events surrounding the network have led to a shocking scandal that has rocked the faith community. The drama centers around accusations of spiritual abuse made by Jonathan Lamb, the former vice president of Daystar, and his wife Suzy, against Joni Lamb, Jonathan's mother and the president of the network, as well as Jimmy Evans, a close ally of Joni. This series of events has sent shockwaves through the Christian broadcasting world, and the revelations are still unfolding. To understand the gravity of this situation, we must take a closer look at the individuals involved, the history of Daystar, and the allegations that have come to light. The rise of Daystar Television Network. To fully grasp the significance of the accusations, it is essential to first understand the history and mission of Daystar Television Network. Founded in 1993 by Marcus and Joni Lamb, Daystar quickly established itself as one of the largest and most influential Christian television networks in the world. The Lamb's vision was to create a platform for spreading the Word of God through television, a mission that began with humble beginnings. In the early 1990s, Marcus had a powerful vision while in Jerusalem, which led him to believe that a Christian television network could have a profound impact on the world. This vision became a reality in 1993 when the couple founded Daystar, beginning with a small station in Decatur, Texas. The network's rapid growth was fueled by the Lamb's commitment to providing quality faith-based programming, focusing on interdenominational and multicultural content that appealed to a broad audience. Daystar quickly became a household name in Christian broadcasting, expanding its reach to over 2.3 billion households worldwide. With the Lambs at the helm, Daystar became a powerful force for spreading the gospel, providing a platform for ministries, talk shows, and inspirational content. The network was not just a business venture, but a ministry with a deep commitment to reaching souls for Christ. Joni Lamb, a central figure in Christian broadcasting. At the heart of Daystar's success is Joni Lamb, the network's current president and one of the most recognized faces in Christian media. Born in Greenville, South Carolina, Joni's journey into ministry began at an early age, shaped by her family's strong Christian faith. She married Marcus Lamb in 1982, and together they worked to build Daystar into the global ministry it is today. Joni's leadership style, combined with her engaging personality, helped Daystar stand out in a crowded media landscape. She became not just an executive, but also a beloved talk show host, with her program, Joni Table Talk, becoming a staple of the network's programming. Joni's unique approach to addressing difficult topics from a biblical perspective resonated deeply with her audience, and she earned numerous accolades, including a Daytime Emmy nomination. Her fearless exploration of sensitive issues, including family, relationships, and current events, allowed her to connect with viewers on a personal level. Even after the death of her husband Marcus in 2021, Joni remained a steadfast leader of Daystar, navigating the network through a season of grief and transition. In 2023, she remarried Dr. Doug Weiss, a licensed psychologist specializing in intimate addiction recovery. This decision, while personal, became the focal point of public scrutiny, sparking controversies that would eventually lead to the accusations made by her son Jonathan and his wife Suzy. The shocking allegations of spiritual abuse. The current scandal surrounding Daystar, began in July 2023, when Joni Lamb confronted her son Jonathan and his wife Suzy about their decision not to publicly support her recent marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss. This confrontation marked the beginning of a series of events that would escalate into claims of spiritual abuse. Jonathan Lamb, who had worked at Daystar for many years alongside his wife, accused both Joni and her close associate Jimmy Evans of using their positions of power to manipulate and control him and his wife in a spiritually abusive manner. Jonathan and Suzy claimed that their experiences at Daystar were marked by undue pressure, emotional manipulation, and coercion in the name of faith. These accusations of spiritual abuse have struck a nerve within the Christian community, raising questions about the ethical conduct of those in positions of power within religious organizations. Spiritual abuse, which involves the misuse of religious authority to control or harm others, is a serious issue that has gained increasing attention in recent years. Jonathan and Suzy's decision to speak out has prompted a broader conversation about the potential for abuse of power within faith-based ministries, especially those as influential as Daystar. The situation became even more complicated when Jimmy Evans, a well-known figure in Christian ministry, became implicated in the scandal. Evans, a close ally of Joni Lamb, is a respected pastor and marriage counselor with a long history of leadership within the Christian community. As the co-founder and president of XO Marriage, Evans has helped thousands of couples build strong, healthy marriages through his teachings and counseling. He and his wife Karen Evans also host the popular television program Marriage Today, which reaches millions of viewers worldwide. However, despite his respected position, Evans has come under fire as part of the allegations brought by Jonathan and Suzy Lamb. The role of Jimmy Evans in the controversy. Jimmy Evans' involvement in this scandal is particularly significant due to his prominent role within the Christian community. Evans is a highly respected figure, known for his biblical teachings and his work in marriage counseling. He has authored numerous books on relationships, including Marriage on the Rock and The 4 Laws of Love, which have been widely read and praised by those seeking to improve their marriages. His ministry, Marriage Today, has helped countless couples navigate the complexities of relationships, offering practical advice grounded in biblical principles. However, despite his professional achievements, Evans' association with the allegations of spiritual abuse has cast a shadow over his reputation. As a close confidant of Joni Lamb, Evans is accused of playing a role in the spiritual manipulation and control of Jonathan and Suzy. The accusations have left many questioning how someone with Evans' stature in the Christian community could become involved in such a controversy. The fact that these allegations are coming from Jonathan Lamb, the son of Daystar's co-founder, makes them all the more explosive and difficult to dismiss. Jonathan and Suzy Lamb. The motivations behind their claims. To understand the motivations behind Jonathan and Suzy Lamb's accusations, it is important to consider their long history with Daystar and their personal relationship with Joni Lamb. Jonathan, the son of Marcus and Joni Lamb, worked at Daystar for many years, playing a crucial role in the network's operations. His wife Suzy was also deeply involved in the ministry, supporting Jonathan in his work and contributing to the network's growth. For years, the Lambs were seen as a united front, working together to expand Daystar's reach and influence. However, behind the scenes, tensions had been building between Jonathan and his mother. The decision not to publicly support Joni's marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss was just one of many points of contention that had been simmering for some time. Jonathan's departure from Daystar in 2024, along with the accusations of spiritual abuse, suggests a deep fracture within the family and the network. It is clear that Jonathan and Suzy felt betrayed and manipulated by those they had once trusted, and their decision to speak out was likely driven by a desire for justice and accountability. The impact on Daystar and the faith community. The fallout from this scandal has had a significant impact on Daystar Television Network. As one of the largest Christian broadcasters in the world, Daystar's influence is undeniable. The allegations of spiritual abuse and the public rift within the Lamb family have raised serious questions about the ethical conduct of the network's leadership. Many have expressed concern about the potential long-term effects on the network's reputation, especially if these allegations are proven to be true. For Joni Lamb, the scandal has been particularly damaging, as it undermines her leadership and the trust that viewers and supporters have placed in her. Despite her many years of service to the Christian community, Joni's reputation is now in question, and the network's future may be uncertain. The involvement of Jimmy Evans, a respected figure in Christian ministry, has only added to the complexity of the situation. The allegations against him have shaken the faith community, forcing many to re-evaluate their views of both Daystar and its leadership, a turning point for Daystar. The scandal surrounding Daystar Television Network is far from over, and the accusations of spiritual abuse made by Jonathan and Suzy Lamb have left the Christian community reeling. As the situation unfolds, it will be important to keep a close eye on how the network responds and how the individuals involved address the allegations. For Daystar, the road ahead will likely be one of introspection and accountability, as the network seeks to rebuild trust and maintain its place as a leader in Christian broadcasting. Whether Joni Lamb and Jimmy Evans will be able to weather the storm remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the scandal at Daystar is a turning point that will shape the future of the network and its leadership for years to come. The Lamb family scandal, a complex web of allegations and intrigue. The drama surrounding the Lamb family has become one of the most shocking and widely discussed scandals in Christian broadcasting. At the heart of this controversy lies the family dynamics of Daystar Television Network, a network with a global reach that has long been a beacon for faith-based content. Jonathan Lamb, the son of Daystar's late founder Marcus Lamb, and his wife Suzy, have made explosive accusations of spiritual abuse against Jonathan's mother, Joni Lamb, the current president of the network, and her close ally, Jimmy Evans, a respected pastor and marriage counselor. These claims are far from just a family dispute. They have ignited a firestorm within the Christian community, raising questions about the nature of spiritual authority, family loyalty, and the integrity of one of the most influential Christian networks in the world. The rise of Daystar Television Network. To understand the magnitude of the scandal, it's essential to first grasp the significance of Daystar Television Network. Founded in 1993 by Marcus and Joni Lamb, Daystar has grown to become one of the largest Christian television networks globally, reaching over 2.3 billion households. Its mission has always been clear: to spread the message of the gospel through diverse and inspiring programming that caters to a wide audience, including multicultural and interdenominational groups. The network's growth was fueled by the vision of Marcus Lamb, who felt a divine calling during a visit to Jerusalem in the early 1990s. This vision led to the purchase of a small television station in Montgomery, Alabama, which eventually became Daystar. With its combination of faith-based content, high-quality programming, and strategic international expansion, Daystar quickly became a household name. Shows like Marcus and Joni, where the Lambs shared their personal faith journeys, and Joni Table Talk, which addressed women's issues from a Christian perspective, were instrumental in building the network's reputation. Joni Lamb, in particular, became a well-known figure, not just as the president of Daystar, but also as a gifted talk show host and singer. Her ability to connect with audiences on a personal level, discussing sensitive topics with grace and wisdom, earned her respect across the Christian community. However, despite Daystar's outward success, the network was about to face a crisis that would challenge its very foundation. The allegations of spiritual abuse. The tension within the Lamb family began to surface in 2023, with the remarriage of Joni Lamb to Dr. Doug Weiss, a licensed psychologist specializing in intimacy addiction recovery. The couple's objections to this marriage were rooted in concerns about Doug Weiss's past, particularly his previous marriage, which ended amid allegations of infidelity and emotional difficulties. This history raised serious questions for Jonathan and Suzy about the biblical justification for Joni's marriage to Doug, as they believed that someone with such a troubled past was not an ideal partner, especially for someone in Joni's position as a spiritual leader. Jonathan and Suzy were deeply uncomfortable with the fact that Doug's first marriage had ended so recently before he began courting Joni, which they felt indicated a lack of sincerity or perhaps unresolved personal issues. These concerns were not just about personal preferences, but were viewed through the lens of their Christian faith, where the sanctity of marriage and the importance of biblical teachings on divorce and remarriage are deeply ingrained. The situation escalated when Jonathan and Suzy were publicly asked to endorse Joni's marriage to Doug by reading a congratulatory message live on air. This request placed them in an extremely uncomfortable position, as doing so would have been seen as an endorsement of something they morally disagreed with. When they refused, the tension between them and Joni, already fraught with unresolved issues, reached a breaking point. The assault incident and family fallout. Before the marriage controversy, there had already been a major rift between Jonathan, Suzy, and Joni over a deeply troubling incident involving their young daughter. In 2020 to 2021, during a retreat organised by Daystar, a family member, who also worked at the network, followed their 5-year-old daughter into a room and assaulted her. Suzy described the encounter as deeply unsettling, recalling how the family member's eyes seemed blackened as he followed their daughter, seemingly in a trance-like state. Jonathan confronted the family member, who reportedly apologized for his actions. However, when Jonathan and Suzy reported the incident to Joni and other senior Daystar leaders, they alleged that their concerns were dismissed. Rather than taking the appropriate steps to report the abuse to authorities, Jonathan and Suzy claimed that Joni and other high-ranking officials attempted to protect the perpetrator, potentially covering up the incident. This failure to act, they argue, is what led them to feel that the organisation was more concerned with protecting its own image than with the safety and well-being of its members. The Lambs' feelings of betrayal were compounded by what they saw as a lack of support from Joni, who, instead of addressing their concerns with empathy, allegedly minimised the severity of the situation. This failure to protect their daughter, Jonathan and Suzy believe, was indicative of a deeper pattern of neglect and spiritual abuse within the Daystar organisation, a feeling that only intensified in the aftermath of the marriage controversy. The July 11th, 2023, meeting, the breaking point. The meeting on July 11th, 2023 would become the defining moment of the Lamb family's crisis. In a tense confrontation, Joni Lamb summoned Jonathan and Suzy to discuss their refusal to publicly support her marriage to Doug Weiss. In an effort to reinforce her authority in the situation, Joni brought Jimmy Evans into the meeting. Evans, a highly respected figure in the Christian counselling community and a close ally of Joni, made a shocking statement that would reverberate throughout the family. He claimed that Joni's voice was the voice of God. This statement was more than just a spiritual declaration. It was a profound assertion of authority, suggesting that any disagreement with Joni's decisions was tantamount to resisting the will of God. Jonathan, taken aback by the statement, pressed Evans for clarification, asking whether he was truly suggesting that he had to listen to Joni in order to hear from God. Evans's insistence that Joni spoke with godlike authority left Jonathan feeling cornered and manipulated. The conversation continued to deteriorate as Joni accused Suzy of being too emotional and unstable, referencing the family's previous trauma surrounding the assault incident. These accusations only added fuel to the already explosive situation, with Joni positioning herself as the arbiter of truth and demanding that Jonathan and Suzy show loyalty to her and to the organisation. Joni further warned Jonathan that his response to the allegations and the refusal to endorse her marriage would have serious consequences for his future role at Daystar. She framed this as a loyalty test, suggesting that any dissent would be seen as a challenge to her leadership and, by extension, to the future of the network. The fallout, a family torn apart. The aftermath of the July 11th meeting was nothing short of devastating. Jonathan, feeling deeply conflicted and betrayed, sent an email to Joni expressing his distress over being put in such an impossible position. However, he felt that Joni was largely indifferent to his pain, offering little empathy or understanding. In November 2023, the situation came to a head when Jonathan was terminated from Daystar after refusing to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, that would have prevented him from speaking publicly about the internal workings of the network. The NDA demanded that he destroy any recordings or documents related to his conversations with Joni and Evans, further isolating him from his own family and the network he had worked at for years. Feeling unsafe and increasingly harassed, Jonathan and Suzy took to social media to share their story, stating that they had been subjected to intimidation and threats from Daystar associates. They feared for their personal safety and had presented evidence of the abuse and cover-up to reporters and law enforcement. In November 2024, Jonathan and Suzy publicly announced their departure from Daystar, citing their inability to remain affiliated with an institution that had, in their view, allowed a cover-up of abuse within its ranks. Joni Lamb's response. In the wake of the Lamb's departure, Joni Lamb vehemently denied the accusations against her and her family. In a public statement released on November 29, 2024, she dismissed the allegations as part of a smear campaign aimed at undermining her leadership. Joni claimed that internal investigations at Daystar had found no evidence to support Jonathan and Suzy's claims. She characterized their actions as a personal vendetta, stemming from Jonathan's dissatisfaction with not being named as his father's successor after Marcus Lamb's death. Joni's denial and her firm stance in defending her actions have done little to quell the controversy. As the scandal continues to unfold, the question remains, how will this deeply personal and painful drama affect the future of Daystar Television Network and the Lamb family? Only time will tell if the network can survive this crisis and whether the wounds inflicted by this scandal can ever be healed.